I'm a 34-year-old woman, a public school teacher living in a quiet suburb. I bought my first home when I was 27. It wasn't fancy, just a basic 3-bedroom with old carpet, peeling paint, and a cracked driveway. But I loved it because it was mine. I worked summer school, took on after-school tutoring, and even picked up weekend jobs for years to save up for it. When the time came, I paid for everything myself. Every inch of this place, from the walls I painted to the floors I sanded, has my work in it. When I told my parents I was buying the house, they offered to help with the down payment. I thanked them but said no. I knew what their help meant: control, conditions, and constant opinions disguised as generosity. They didn't argue out loud, but the cold looks and guilt trips started immediately. For years after, they kept throwing comments like we only wanted to support our daughter, or it's a shame when pride gets in the way of family. That's how they are. Appearances matter to them more than anything. Growing up, emotions had to be managed in silence, and family loyalty was just another word for obedience. If you didn't follow the plan they had for you, then you were disrespecting the people who raised you. It's not that they're evil people, just the kind that views love as a transaction. 4 years ago, when I was 30, I became a licensed foster parent. That was something else they never understood. They said it was too much responsibility for someone single and warned me not to get too attached. Then Maya came into my life. She was 15 back then, quiet, withdrawn, and used to being shuffled around. Her previous placements were chaotic. She came with one duffel bag, a pile of school absences, and zero trust in adults. We didn't bond overnight. It took months of steady routines, small steps, and proving I wasn't going to leave. But eventually, we settled into something real. I started looking forward to cooking dinner for two, watching old movies on the couch, and hearing her rant about whatever was going on at school. She had her own room, decorated exactly how she wanted. She brought color and life into a house that had only known silence before her. I never formally adopted her, but she became my daughter in every real way. My parents met her a few times. They were never openly rude, but I could feel the tension. They asked weird questions about her background, made passive comments about temporary guests, and never invited her to any family events. Behind my back, they'd refer to her as a project or ask when I planned to return to normal. Maya turned 18 last year. She aged out of the foster system, but I told her she could stay here as long as she needed. She had just started community college nearby, and I wanted her to have stability without worrying about rent or moving again. That's when my parents started circling back, this time with talk about legacy planning. They brought it up casually at first. Something about how I should prepare for the future by putting the house in their name to streamline inheritance. I shut it down immediately. The house was mine. I paid for it. I renovated it. I wasn't giving anyone else a say in it, especially not people who never helped build it. They didn't let it go. The next time we spoke, they said it wasn't safe for me to be making legal decisions influenced by someone with no blood connection. They claimed I was putting their future at risk by not protecting family assets. According to them, Maya shouldn't be living in a property that would eventually become family inheritance. That's when I realized how deep their entitlement ran. In their minds, the house wasn't really mine. It was a placeholder until they could convince me to hand it over. I told them, flat out, that Maya was my family. They had no say in my home, my decisions, or who lived here. They tried to guilt me, calling it a betrayal, saying I was choosing a stranger over the people who raised me. I reminded them that I bought this house alone, maintain it alone, and that no one else had ever put a dollar into it. That was the last real conversation we had. After that, they started distancing themselves. No more calls, no invitations, no check-ins. But before